Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. Today, there's a reason why I'm wearing one of my Yankees tops. We're talking about nail art and also a little bit of baseball. Oh, okay, so on the night that I'm filming this, tomorrow night, my husband Jack and I are going to a baseball game. And I know I'm in Chicago. I know people always say to me, like, they ask White Sox or Cubs, and my answer surprises them when I say Yankees. And it's because when I was in college in New York City, one of my roommates was from Jersey, and I just became a fan through her. I'll probably tell the story at some point as I'm doing the nail art, but you know, I've got like the base colors done on my nails here, but I want to do some nail art on them. And so originally I thought, well, let me try and find a few different examples of like baseball related nail art like ideas or objects. Like one, a baseball. And then I was like, I'm not really resonating with anything else beyond that. So part of what I'm gonna do just for my nails, I'm gonna do like a couple baseballs. I'm gonna do like maybe the Yankees logo, we'll see. And also some pinstripes, some dots, and so on. So instead of having this video be specifically about baseball nail art, I want it to be more of like nail art tips in general for anyone, but especially for beginners, because I know how it can feel when you're relatively newer to even just nail polish in general. And then the idea of like, how do you possibly get started with tackling nail art can feel very overwhelming. And so what I want to show you today is how you can use some simple tools and like, you don't have to be very complex in order to tie things together with some intention. And then, you know, before you know it, you have a really cute, well strung together manicure. So that is the plan for today. You know, just kind of you know, and I don't even know what order I'm gonna share these tips in. It's gonna be a little bit casual, chatty video as I'm doing some nail art, but as I'm doing this, I'm gonna be explaining what I'm doing and why, so you can kind of get inside my head a bit and learn the reasons behind why I'm doing this instead of that, and so on. Okay. There's that. And also, before I shift over to my nail desk, my thumbnail, Diva Down, the way that this happened was that I was, over the past couple of weeks, I was starting to get a little bit of a break on the side, but I thought, this will last, not forever, but this will last for a while. It's fine. I don't have to worry about like really trying to patch this up or anything. It's cool. Okay, but y'all, last night I went to a concert, specifically the Hilary Duff concert, had a fantastic time. But then if you've seen any clips from her current concert tour, there's this part at the end where when she's singing, "This is what dreams are made of," like that song, these giant like beach balls are like get thrown out into the front section, and it's fun because, you know, people are bouncing them around here and there. Okay, I'm probably going to put a video clip in here because I happen to catch this on video. You're not going to see my thumbnail break, but basically I'm like in that area where the balls are being thrown around, and part of me's like, I want to touch the ball. Woo! I guess I did, because y'all, that ball came over, and as I was trying to like hit it, you see where I'm going with this. So this is what dreams are made of. But I did have a really good time. It was worth it. If I had to break a nail, what better place than to do it at a Hilary Duff concert? So, you know, if any of y'all are doing some nail art right now, or are thinking of doing it, or even doing non-nail art but just painting your nails, get cozy. Let's settle in and do our nails together. So yeah, over to show you what's on my nails so far. So the usual what's on my nails portion of the video. It's actually going to be me referring to the colors that I'll be using today for this nail art exercise. And this leads me into one of the first recommendations that I have as for anyone who's getting started with nail art, or who's even maybe like, if you've been doing nail art for a while, but maybe you're trying to find some ways to better optimize what you're doing. One suggestion I have would be to not pick too many different colors as part of your color palette, depending on what you're going for, right? Like it could be the case that you're going for something that's like a rainbow look. So naturally you're going to need to have the colors of the rainbow, plus maybe some other ones for sparkle, stuff like that. But I think that for times when I am sticking to a more simple, not more simple, but like something that is like more cohesive, more like, y'all know what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? Like a smaller set that has like fewer colors, but a really good, clear color story across them. It's something like even as few as 3 or 4 colors could be a great palette for you to start with. And I think another reason why I personally like to use fewer colors when I'm doing nail art is that first, as someone who struggles with being indecisive a lot, I love that using only 4 colors, like in this case, really reduces the number of choices that I have to make as I'm planning out my nail art. And then also too, it helps to just tell a more consistent and concise story across all of your nails. So the colors that I'm using today, the white that you see is my usual go-to like off-white cream from Cracked called Crinkled Lemons. I'm so glad that a little bit ago I decided, or I realized I didn't yet have a gray cream in my collection, for times when you need a gray cream for nail art. This is Crack's Don't Throw Stones. And then the dark blue that I'm using, this like, trust me, it's like a dark navy blue. In this lighting, it almost reads as black, but I can tell that it's blue. This is Color Club Nighttime is the Right Time. Fantastic formula in all of these. Okay, y'all, and then this one was the first ever custom color that I ordered from Blank Beauty. And I did this by uploading a photo of my hair at the time, and then I selected a spot within the photo and that I wanted to have for the polish, and then I called it hairball because I really do have hairballs just like everywhere. So those are the 4 that I'm going to be using. And the general plan for, well, let me, before I go into the plan for what I'm doing here, now let's talk about what supplies I have here. In no particular order, just me looking at the things that are scattered around my desk area. One thing that I use, whether I am painting my nails like non-nail art or just in general, I use this, I think it was like, I got this from like that store Daiso, I think. It's supposed to be like a rice bowl, but I use it for my little acetone bowl here. So you can also use just like a regular little glass container or dapping dish, I think you often will see them called. So having a little bit of acetone in there is helpful for times when you need to clean off your brushes and other tools. Then, speaking of tools, I have this dotting tool. These are, if you just search for like dotting tool on a site like Amazon, very easy to find a number of options. I'm pretty sure most, if not all of them, are made in a way where you have 2 different sizes here. So you have like a larger dot on one end and a smaller dot on the other. Then for putting out my my nail polish that I'm using for like a color palette, I like using these little, it looks like a Post-it notepad, but it's got like a more slick surface to it here. And you'll see as I go along how I go about using this. But yeah, I just use one sheet at a time. It works really well for that purpose. And I also have over here the top coat that I'm using for this. I have it in a cracked bottle because once I finish using up the cracked quick dry top coat that came in here, ever since then I've been refilling it with this Sally Hansen Advanced Hard as Nails Strengthening Top Coat. My usual top coat that I use is the either the Glisten and Glow or the DNT nail polish top coat. Y'all, I'm stumbling over my words. You know what I'm trying to say. That one does have toluene in it, and that's normally what I use. Now, the toluene is not going to affect your nail art, assuming you're not using magnetics or something. I just prefer to use this one as I'm doing my layers of nail art because I want something that's going to dry a little bit quicker and that's going to be a little bit thinner. What I'll most likely end up doing is, like, once everything is all completely done with my nail art, I'll then go in with my usual one and seal that in and give it a more like plump, juicy look. But for now, what I've done, and this is another tip that I have, when you are doing nail art and you are doing it over, say, whatever your background is, whether you've got like if I'd wanted to put like a shimmer in the background or whatever else, you get your background set. Then what I recommend is putting top coat over that background and let that sit, let that completely dry. Go do something, but not really with your hands, you know. That for me helps a lot to establish some base level of like dryness here, and so that when I get to the point of starting to use the tools, whether it's the brushes that I'm going to show you in just a moment or like a dotting tool, it like putting that over a surface that has top coat applied to it, in my experience, works a lot better than if I were to do this on, say, any of these polishes with no top coat. Okay. And I'll also say that honestly a big reason why I decided to film this video was that I recently bought some new nail art brushes, and I'll put a link to these in the description. I got these off of Amazon. I haven't actually used these yet, so this is going to be my first time here. I'm not gonna, okay. Y'all, why was I about to say penicillin? These are not penicillin brushes. Ipincello? Sure. I'll put a link to them. Basically, they came in this set of 6, and of course I don't have them in the correct order here. It looks like let me do it this way. Okay. Yes, they had these available in different color cases or different color bodies. And did I choose this one specifically because it's vampy red? I mean, yes. So the smallest one is this 6mm, and you can see like the length of that there. And as opposed to, say, I think the longest is like the 25mm here. So, you know, to just show you a difference in the size of these. I think that the ones I'm going to be using today are most likely the 6mm and the 9mm. I know that I've seen other nail art videos, by the way, this is the 9mm one, where people like using the longer tip brushes for even finer control. But while I do love that I have these here, I'm just going to stick to the smaller ones for now. Unless, of course, I decide later on, oh yeah, I actually do want those. Okay, so now let's talk about what the plan is. And I actually did have to come up with a plan beforehand because I needed to put down the coats of the creams and then top coat. So we're going to start on the left hand first. And also I'm realizing this is my first time filming like me actually doing nail art on my hand on a video, because normally I do it on a swatch wheel. But in this case, because I need this to be my manicure for the game tomorrow, I'm like, well, it just makes more sense for me to do it on my hand. So yeah, so here's what we're gonna do. On the left, what do we call that? Like, what do we call that finger? On my pinky, I'm gonna do a baseball. Okay, so on the dark blue ones, I thought about trying to do the Yankees logo, but y'all, it is a little bit on the wider side. Like when you take a look, okay, when you think about the Yankees logo, it doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't seem wide at first because you're just looking at it. You're not thinking about having to draw it, especially you're not thinking about having to draw it on a nail, right? But then if you take a look at it through the lens of how might it work for me to try to draw this on a nail? Nope. I'm not going to try to do that. So I'm just going for, you know, overall recognition of vibes here. So I'm going to do an N on this finger, a Y on that finger. You see, we got something there. On this finger, I'm gonna do the, so I've got the white background already, so I'm gonna paint the light blue stripes to kind of represent their home uniforms. It's similar to what I've got on my shirt today. And then this over here is also gonna be a baseball. So then that's the left hand. Then the right hand is where I'm representing the colors that are more for their away uniforms. You see what's going on there? Now, I am right-handed, and even on my best day with my right hand drawing, even that can be a little shaky sometimes, you will probably see. So I really do not trust my left hand to be able to draw like any kind of lettering, any kind of straight lines. We're gonna go for dots on there, but it's gonna be in a pattern. It's gonna be great. While I'm at the game tomorrow, I'm gonna be all like, you know, waving my hands around. It's not gonna be subtle at all. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay. One last thing I'll say as I'm getting started with this, as far as color choice, in my case, yes, I chose this like dark blue cream because it's like part of the Yankees colors. However, I do know that often, and this is even the case for me a lot of times, I will often feel like I need to include black somewhere in my nail art just because, you know, you need to have some kind of darker color. And, you know, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely going to be times where black is probably going to be the better choice for what you might be trying to do. However, I would encourage you all, depending on what kind of nail art theme or pattern you're going for, the next time you're thinking about just putting in black in there, consider using like a very, very dark cream of some other color instead, you know. Try using like your darkest purple, your darkest red, your darkest green, your darkest blue. See if it could work. And I like this approach myself because it gives you still that darkness that you're looking for, but in a way that gives a little bit more feeling sometimes compared to what you can get with black. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 6mm one here. Let's see, these are, oh, that's nice. Okay. And what I do is that I will take the brush out of here. It's been a while since I've opened this one. And it's always hard to open bottles when I've just done my nails. So another tip I have, this is why I keep pliers by my, like not by my desk, like literally in a cup on my desk in a mug. So the way I like to do this is I take some out and I just do a little dab, dab, dab. And for this, I'm not referencing any particular image of a baseball, but as I was doing research for this video and looking at some options that were out there, I really liked what I saw as the overwhelming theme of like, instead of like drawing a circle and like, you know, like if I were doing on here, instead of me drawing a circle and then, you know, all that, this is already the baseball. So you'll see what I'm saying. Okay, so let's see how these brushes go. What I'm looking to get out of these brushes is like a firmer brush than the older ones that I currently have, or the ones I've been using. Okay, what angle do I want to do this at? Okay, so I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna do a swoosh there and a swoosh there. Okay, I've got this. Let's try. Oh, this is hard. Yeah, it's tough because I'm trying to like get around the side of that. It can be tough too. Oh, this is not at all the fault of the brush, y'all. This is, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? This has nothing to do with the brush. This is the fact that many of my nails have a very prominent C curve, and by that I mean it can be difficult for times when I'm doing nail art to draw what needs to be a consistent, like straight-ish line, because I can't fully see it. That's okay. We're gonna make it work. That's it's fine. It's fine. Okay, and then on this side, okay, I think I want to swoosh it like here. Oop. Okay, this is just gonna be like an abstract. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This is bad. This is not turning out the way I want it to. Why did I start on this finger? I know this. It's because this is the order I always go in when I do my nails. It's fine. So it's gonna be okay. So another tip for nail art: figure out, like, if you happen to mess up and you don't want to scrap it, figure out where you can use your mistakes to work as part of your design. So you see how I've got these little like straggling lines on the sides? Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. That's going to be part of the stitching. So, oh my goodness. Did not mean to do that much on it there. I think I know what's going on. It's tricky because I think I will often, like, for something this precise, sometimes I'll like literally have my head closer down to the nail, but I don't necessarily want to do that right now because that'd be a little creepy. Just like having part of my head, like, you know, stick out in the camera, like hairball indeed, right? Okay. Let me get some more on the brush here. I'm like, whenever I'm using a tool, a new tool for the first time, I feel a little hesitant because I tend to play it safer than I probably should. So in this case, I can tell I'm not putting nearly enough polish on the brush, but I'm fixing that now. I realized part of it was like, girl, it's dragging because there's the nail is wanting paint or polish, but I just didn't have enough loaded up on the brush. But now that I fixed that, it's looking a little better, you know. This is fine. It's fine. It looks more like bloody barbed wire, but I mean, that also speaks to me, so I'm okay with that. Okay. Now, let's try the... Okay, yeah, that looks fine. That looks okay. All right, let's go for the other one here. And another tip I would give is to find the joy in nail art. If, you know, for example, you're someone who is drawn to more like representational art, I guess I would say, like this, like where you love the idea of using nail art as a way to illustrate certain objects, do that, you know, have fun with it. If you're, ooh, I think I might paint some, see, this is where it gets tricky because I see some stragglers there. Do I want to try and cover that up with white, or should I just let it be? I think I'm just gonna let it be and be like, yo, that baseball was thrown so hard. Look how much it got like unstitched. Okay. But what I was saying is like, if you're, whatever you're drawn to, let that be the thing that guides the choices you make in nail art. And it's okay if you're not into patterns. It's okay if you're not into stamping or whatever. You have it be something that brings you joy. Okay. That looks like a baseball. I'm cool with that. Okay, now I have to draw a letter. By the way, I'm going to let this sit for a little bit before I go back in to put on top coat. And then when I do, I'm going to explain some the process I use for that. Okay, we're going to draw the letter N. Okay, this episode of Sesame Street is being brought to you by Olivia's shaky hands and not really knowing how this next letter is going to turn out. Yay! You know, like, here's honestly another reason why I not just enjoy doing nail art, but also showing you all how I do it. Am I the best at this? Goodness, no. That is that is not my plan. Also, I'm in between these colors. I'm like cleaning off in the acetone jar that I've got. But like, I enjoy this, and so because it's something I enjoy, and if I can share that with you all and teach you some stuff about it along the way, that also makes me happy. So yeah. All right, let's see if I can get a little bit more on the brush here than before. Okay, now I'll tell you right now, the problem I know I've had before is like trying to center like letters on the nail. So, like, okay, let's just go for it. Okay, we're making the letter N. Okay. It got real quiet. Why am I saying it got real quiet when there's like literally nobody else home right now but me? Okay. Oh, I did that. Okay. Nice. All right. Since I'm feeling on a roll, I know I just like literally wiped off the white, but I'm going to do the Y right now just because I've got it here. While I'm doing this, I'll explain. So when I went to college, and like I said, my college roommate was a huge Yankees fan and had Yankee posters all over our dorm. That was at a time before DC, my hometown, had a baseball team. So like nowadays, when I meet people, when we talk about baseball, they ask me like, oh, so if you're not a fan of the Chicago teams, you must be a Nationals fan because that's where you're from. And I have to explain, well, I understand why you might think that, but at the time that I went to college, the Nationals didn't exist. Like, if you wanted baseball in that area, you had to be a fan of the Baltimore Orioles. And nothing against I am going to clean up that part right there, probably. Nothing against the Orioles, but I never really resonated with them. And so got to college. My roommate was a huge Yankees fan. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's do this. So yeah, this is an example of where I am going to very gently touch up that little space there. But you know what? This is looking not bad so far. As I'm doing this, I'll tell another quick story. So, not so fun fact, I was never able to actually go to the previous Yankee Stadium that was there. One day I had gotten myself like a free ticket through the campus, like ticket office or something like that, and I was so excited. I had a full day of classes, and I think this was my sophomore or junior year, so I didn't have as much time to like go back to my dorm, drop stuff off before heading up to the Bronx. So I was just like, you know what, it'll be fine. I did not even think about what I was doing. I go all the way from the village up to the Bronx. And then I get there and I get turned away because I still had my backpack with me and I couldn't bring it in. And I was devastated. At that point, I was just like, okay. So I texted my friends. It was like, hey, so
y'all still getting together for dinner? Can I join? And they're like, yep. So I got right back on the train, went back down to campus, and had a blast with my friends. And yeah, I probably could have tried to get another ticket at some point, but it's just time just goes by so fast before you realize it, and I just, for whatever reason, never got back to do it, but that is okay. All right, now we're gonna do some stripes. Now I thought about this is another thing where I struggle with like positioning, I guess you could say. What I used to do would be to start from the side and work my way over. Y'all, this time I'm starting in the center. Now that I'm putting enough polish on this brush, it's working pretty well, I've got to say. Yeah, it really helped for clearing up that spot there. So I'm gonna try and draw a straight line. I say this literally, and then my left eye starts twitching like, come on now. Okay. Ooh, okay, that's nice. And part of why it helps to have that additional polish, like further up the bristles here, is that, at a certain point when I got to the end there, I was able to kind of like make the end of this line happen by like angling the brush down and just letting it glide. Ooh, y'all, I feel so fancy right now. Is this how Bob Ross felt when he first picked up a paintbrush? What? Okay, let's do this again. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be a line. Okay, that one I need to do a little bit more here. So kind of tidy that up. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Hopefully you're starting to see what I mean about like how having just a small number of colors can give you a consistent color palette. And this is a great way to get more use out of cream polishes if you're someone who doesn't often wear creams. Y'all, oh, this looks good. Okay, I'm doing a second baseball over here, so I have a chance to redeem myself and do a baseball that does not look like bloody barbed wire. Okay, another tip. So you might be thinking, well, I can just go back and dip in this right here, right? It's been a few minutes since I was using this, and the air drying has got to it. So if I were to use this pool right here, I guarantee at this point it's going to be kind of stringy. So what I like to do, I don't like that little pool is just done for me. I don't even want to put more on top of it because it's been a while. So because I don't want that stringiness to get mixed into the new stuff. So that is something that I wish I had known when I first started doing nail art. Oh, I love these. This is so good. Okay, so the thumb, let me see how I want to do this. Okay, so I think, okay, this was going that way. So maybe I'll do it like swooshed the other way. Okay, that's going to be what I do. All right. So, yeah, the reason why Jack and I are going to this baseball game is that I got an email the other week from the teacher residency program that I graduated from here in Chicago. They have a very strong and active alumni network, and they often will put on alumni events. And so they sent out an email saying, hey, we're doing an alumni night at the Sox game. And I was like, okay, cool. I looked at me and Jack's calendars, saw, yeah, we could do that. That's cool. And got tickets, and so we're going to go. But it's funny because, pretty much probably everybody there is going to be cheering, at least from I wouldn't be surprised if most of the people from my group are going to be cheering for the Sox, and I'm going to be showing up in my Yankee stuff. Like, I'm not going to be wearing this shirt. I'm going to be wearing a different one. probably by the time I filmed this, or not filmed this, but by the time that I edit this, yeah, I think I'll see if I can put a picture in of me at the game so you can see that shirt. Okay, so that one, the arrows were going out to the left, so I want the arrows going out to the right on this one. That's not a hard and fast requirement to have that kind of like symmetry or anything like that, but it's just something I like to do to have some kind of like, oh, okay, here's what I did on that side, now here's what I'm going to do on this side. Oh, this is so relaxing. This is looking better. Okay. Yeah, so I can't believe it's been, my goodness, I graduated from that program in 2012. And that was a long time ago. I don't want to think about how old my former middle school students are, because in my mind they are still little 8th graders. And yeah, time flies though, but it'll be nice to kind of catch up with some old friends, make new ones. I always tell people, even though I'm no longer in the classroom, I still do a lot of teaching in the work that I do. I mean, like just earlier today, I had 2 customer meetings that were like demos, and it's basically like teaching people about technology, teaching them how to do things, showing them what to look for, what to avoid, stuff like that, and helping them solve problems. So I really enjoy what I do, and I always tell people, like, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it weren't for the teaching program that I went through. And also my mom growing up, she, as her career, she was a teacher in DC public schools. So I spent my entire childhood like watching her be just the most amazing, dynamic teacher ever. Yo, this looks like a baseball. Okay, I'm probably drawing these lines a little on the big side because I don't know, I'm getting a little carried away, but it's fun. And I like these brushes. Tip, just load up the brush. Because you can see how different parts of the brush are touching the nail at various times, and so you're going to want it to be the case that, like, you see how here, if I were to just kind of lay that down like that, I still get that result without it being like coming from the tip like that. Now that I've done that, let's talk a little bit about my approach, or at least I think a generally recommended approach towards using top coat with your nail polish. Because a very common question can often be, how do you keep your nail art from smearing and like smudging once you've put it on there? That is something that I know I struggled with so much when I first got into nail art. And so what I recommend doing is like putting on some top coat, but instead of having the brush like press down onto the polish, you want to use a method that's often referred to as floating the brush over it. So if you can imagine, like, you take the brush out of the top coat, right? And when you do that, you're carrying over a little like droplet or however much comes on the brush. You put that on the nail, and then instead of pressing down with that, you're like using the brush to just guide that fluid over your nail. So let me see if I can show you how that looks. Okay. All right, here we go. Yo, I can't believe how good this looks. Okay, this is also where I need to make sure that I have like I've moved things out of the way so I don't knock things over, like so my arm doesn't like bump something, Okay, here we go. So I'm putting down my dot there, And now this is what I am just ever so gracefully, I'm just guiding the top of the liquid over the nail. I'm not pressing down onto the nail itself. If you're feeling like you don't have enough liquid on your nail, you probably don't, and that's okay. Go back and put some more on. Actually, I've found that when you put more on your nail, that does tend to make it a little bit easier to spread around. And as always, I'm using my cleanup brush with dipped in acetone just to go around the edges. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Same thing. So, going to put my top coat on here. Yeah, definitely as I'm doing this, I'm finding like putting on more top coat than you think you normally need for just like a regular manicure allows you to perform that floating maneuver a lot more easily, because if you notice here, nothing is streaking, nothing is smudging. The way it would happen before for me would be like I would spend all this time doing a lovely nail art manicure, but then I wouldn't use this technique, and instead I would be like pressing down on it, and before you know it, everything had gotten smudged. So you don't want that to happen. Okay, I'm gonna go over to this one next. I'm sure this one is dry as well, but I think I'm just gonna do these in the order that I painted them in, just for consistency. Yeah, you see I build up a little bit at the bottom there and add in more. This is definitely more than I use for a regular manicure, but it ensures that I just overly saturate that nail. In this case, I was especially concerned about wanting to not smudge that additional like dot of blue that I use to cover up the extra white line there. So the fact that this turned out okay, that is making me very, very happy. Even though I work from home, I talk with my hands a lot, y'all. And I think I've got I'm thinking, how many meetings do I have tomorrow? I think I have at least 4 meetings tomorrow. Y'all, anyone who meets with me tomorrow is gonna see my nails and hear the story of these nails. It's so much fun, like sharing this hobby with people. And I think it's, for any of you who feel like, oh, it's just nails, whatever. No, this is such a valid creative hobby. It's an artistic hobby. I just love being able to I'm always thinking about this, y'all, like, especially now that I have a YouTube channel about this. It's really such a great change of pace for me, because when I'm not working, when I'm not like doing fitness or something like that, I'm thinking like, what's my next video going to be? What's my next manicure going to be? What kind of creative like thing am I going to do next? Oh, this looks so good. Okay. And this does look like a baseball. That's nice. So yeah, I just say this because I know sometimes people will, I guess, feel self-conscious and almost want to downplay the talent that they have when it comes to nail polish. But if you can relate to that, please do not undersell yourself. Like, be proud of the artist that you are. Okay, now here I want to be very cautious, because I feel like these red lines are trying to like start streaking on me, but I'm not going to let them. I'm just being very intentional about where I put this top coat. And yeah, normally this is like I said, this is my first time filming myself painting nail art on my nail, so it's not like, oh, normally I would do it this way or not, but like I definitely wanted to show you all how I do the top coat for this, because it really does help to prevent you from having that kind of streaking and smearing. Okay, let me zoom out here. Oh my goodness. Yes, I did that. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, so I could just jump directly into like the right hand, but what I'm gonna do, because I'm not in a rush, I want to sit and really let these nails sit and dry for probably, I'm gonna give it like 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to do that. I just know for myself, because nail art involves me using my hands for a lot of different things, like pouring out, like, you know, picking up bottles, picking up different tools and stuff. It's just an increased amount of hand usage than I normally would have after painting my nails. So this is me. I'm just going to sit here and put on a YouTube video, chill, and I'll be back in a few. I'm back, and so in the time that's passed, I went ahead and put on the other top coat on top of the first top coat, and you can probably see how it's like a lot glossier. The other one, the first one, the Sally Hansen, does dry down a little bit flatter in some ways, so to make it like extra glossy, this is just so nice. Okay, moving on to the other hand. So yeah, from this point on, I'm gonna use the dotting tool, and I think the way that I want to do the color coordination over here would be definitely on the fingers that have the gray background. I'm just gonna do dark blue dots, but then on the ones that have the dark blue background, actually no. Okay, at one point I thought I was gonna like mix and match colors, like have multiple colors on a single nail of dots. But okay, so on the nails with the blue background, I'm gonna use white dots. Then on the ones with a gray background, I'm gonna do dark blue dots. I decided to do white dots instead of gray on dark blue because I want there to be some continuity between the left and the right hands. And the red is fine to have as like its own thing on the left because, you know, that's obviously for a baseball. But my gut is just telling me that putting even just a little bit of white over there is going to help to tell the color story better in the way that I want it to. So okay, the way I think I want to do this would be to probably do like start on each nail with like use the larger size of the dotting tool to make like a line down the center, and then work my way out from the sides. And as I do this, I'm going to explain the technique that I recommend using for dotting tool. So just like before, you're going to want to put out some polish on whatever kind of palette you're using. And at least from what I found, the tricky thing with dotting tools is that it can be very easy to get kind of like caught up in what you're doing and forget to be mindful of having good technique. And so with that, I mean, you don't want to forget to always like pull straight up in order to prevent like little straggling tails. So I'm also moving some of my other bottles in the background further out because I'm like I said, sometimes you don't even realize that your hand is going to bump up against something that was just like right there. So I'm dipping this in here. Okay, here we go. Oh, shaky hands. Okay, you see how I just pulled like straight up? And that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to, how much space do I have on here? Maybe I've got room for like 2 or 3 or 4. Okay, and I don't know if you can see on here, but already I'm noticing there's like a little tiny like string. Like when I hold this above the red polish back there, if you look very closely, you might be able to see like a little bit of flickering that's going on there. We don't want that. So if you start to see that, wipe that off. That is a sign to go back in for some, dip it back into the polish and keep living your life and go back in again. Okay. Boop. Okay. So far, so good. And I'm just going to wipe this off for now because, and actually, yeah, I probably am going to put the, wipe this off with some acetone just so that I can have it like the surface be fully cleaned off when I want to use it again. With dotting, I think it's something that seems very like, oh, what's the word for it? It seems deceptively easy. And once you practice it some more, it does become more straightforward. But if you're thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna go dot, 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 and not really have to think about technique, at least for me, I can't do that. I know I'm always having to think about technique. So, by the way, I'm switching over to the smaller side now. And this is what I recommend for just adding in some like visual variation. And I'm also angling my thumb a little bit over to the side because I realized I was about to go in at the same angle that I was at before, but that would not really be giving me the result that I want. So I'm going to angle it, space it, and yeah, if I hold this in front of the dark background, you see that little tail there? That's the thing you want to be looking out for. As soon as you see that, wipe that off and go back in for some fresh paint, because if you don't, that's going to be the kind of thing that will almost certainly cause you to get some stray marks where you don't want them to be. Okay. Now let's go in for a second one over here. Okay, that's good. Just checking. All right, so now doing the other side. Then I thought I pressed, but I didn't apparently. Whoops. Okay, so with what I've got here, I'm thinking that I should be able to have enough room to add in a couple of larger dots on the sides. So just like before, I'm wiping off in the acetone, making sure I've got a clean end from the other side. And yeah, so let's go back in for that. Let's see where I'm going to place this one. I know I can probably swing something over here. Okay. Okay, this is looking exactly the way I want it to. This is good. I don't know if I can fit one up here in the corner. Sure, why not? I don't know what that was. Okay, let's try that one again. Okay. And same thing over here. This is really where you want to have some patience with this. And once again, remember to pull straight up. Okay. I'm starting to get a trailing straggler on this one. You see that? That's a pretty long trail right there. This is what happens when, when polish has been out in the pool for a little bit, it can become a little stringy. So the more that you do this, the nail art, the easier it'll be for you to spot this and know what to look for. Okay, that looks pretty good. So this is the pattern I'm going to be repeating across all the nails on this hand. So let's do our dark blue now. Okay, Trying to think what other chatty things I want to talk with y'all about tonight. We talked about baseball. Yeah, the Hillary Duff concert was fantastic. There's nothing quite like when you hear some of your favorite songs being performed live, and you're just like, oh, this is speaking to my soul right now. And everyone there was just so happy. I could tell we all came there for our own reasons, but everyone seemed to get what they needed from that experience, and it was just a fantastic time. Okay, so next finger. I always just double check which side is the larger one because sometimes I can't remember from memory. So here we go. All right, same as before. I'm going straight down the middle. And, in this case, like I had enough paint on, if you're wondering, okay, like how many dots can you get away with on a single like dip into it? It depends. I think one thing being like the viscosity of your polish that you're using. So I know I put thinner in this dark blue one just a little bit earlier while I was painting like the base color on my nails. And so because of that, I know that it is a little bit more like free moving, so to speak. So I think actually now that I'm thinking about it, what I probably want to do is put some thinner into my crinkled linens because A, I can't remember the last time I did that, and B, I think that adding in some thinner there will most likely help to prevent that stringiness that I was experiencing. So yeah, that's another tip. So, oh, I love how this is turning out. This is great. Okay, so now going on to the smaller side. Okay. All right. And just like before, I'm gonna like, kind of angle my finger off to the side. Okay. Oop. That last one ended up looking a little bit larger than I wanted it to, but that's okay. Let's go over to this side. I'm trying to be mindful about like making sure I'm keeping my finger in a spot that you all can see. Ooh, that was too small. I sound like Papa Bear. That was too small. Okay, last one here. Okay, now I think I do want to try to add some on the sides, on the larger size. And because I felt the previous pool start to get a little stringy, I'm gonna put down just a little bit more over here. There we go. Hopefully you all can start to see why this is such a relaxing thing for me. I mean, it's like, I think that for me, nail polish as a hobby in general is something that makes me slow down and be more mindful and be more present in the moment. But then you take that a step further and you do like the nail art part of it, and y'all, this is absolutely like just a way for me to be very mindful, very present, using the larger side again now. Okay, I'm trying to think, like my gut wants me to like hold my hand up because I want my finger like closer to me, but I don't think it's going to be supported. Let me see if I can put it on like this bottle of top coat. There we go. Okay, use your resources, Olivia. There we go. Yes, that's good. Oop. That one was a little too close to it. Also, I'm sorry to anyone who has what is it, trypophobia, the dot thingy. Yeah, I can see that a lot in this. Okay, yeah. For some reason, I'm getting that feeling more from this finger than I was on this one. I think maybe because of color choice, but do I want to add in some white dots here? You know, I'm honestly not fully happy with how this one turned out. It's a little alien for me in a way I don't necessarily want. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna clean this nail off, but not first, but like I think instead of doing the dots here, oh god, okay, let me wipe this off. I can't look at it anymore myself. So yeah, I couldn't do it anymore with that one. And hey, a big part of working with nail polish and doing nail art is knowing yourself well enough to recognize when something that you thought was gonna work out okay was just not gonna be it. So as I'm painting this nail over, I just put base coat on, so that's good to go. I'm gonna on the gray ones, instead of doing dots, I'm gonna use my Ride or Die Black Flake Topper Cracked Polish Mascara Flakes. I think that I'm actually gonna prefer that approach anyway, because it gives a little bit more visual interest compared to, oh, this is why I don't polish my nails on camera, because it's tricky. It gives a little bit more visual interest to have like, okay, these nails have flakes, these nails have dots, and so on, as opposed to just, well, okay, we're doing all dots over here, you know, and that could work. I've done that before, and it's fantastic. For whatever reason, it just wasn't working for me with this, so that is okay. I think I actually want to try out the mascara flakes option on that one first before jumping over to our next dotting one. So, and I know that like this is black and not like dark blue, but I think it's gonna be okay. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, yeah, yep, yeah, that. So much better. Sometimes you have an idea about like how you envision something will turn out, but then you do it and you're just like, nope. So mascara flakes it is, and then I'm gonna put my second coat of Don't Throw Stones over here, and then top coat on that once it's, see, this is how much this is why I don't paint my nails on camera, because I like, for real, like I tell myself, you know, it doesn't matter how messy it is, because I know I'm gonna clean it up. So I just kind of want to normalize that, you know. So many of us deal with I'm not someone who gets my nails painted correctly and cleanly the first time, like ever. Like I always have to do cleanup. So if any of you feel like you struggle with that, hey, what I'm doing right here, that is what I do literally every time I paint my nails. So if you have to do that too, you are in fantastic company. Okay, oh, that is so much better with mascara flakes. So we're gonna do some dotting on the other fingers now. Okay, you know what? Why am I thinking? I actually don't know if I want dots on this or not. Okay, wait a minute. I'm telling myself, I'm not just saying this because it's getting a little bit late right now, but let me see, where is it on my my topper rack over here? I think that instead of doing the dots, I'm gonna do a topper, Emily Damali's Pale Landscape. I just think that the balance that I've got here between what I'm now doing for the mascara flakes and this, it feels a little bit off to me. So let's see how Pale Landscape looks. By the way, this is one of the bottles that I have multiple backups of, and you can see the reason why. Like, Pale Landscape is one of my go-to toppers for times when I'm just like, I want to put a topper on something, or some kind of topper on this. So Pale Landscape it is. Oh yeah, okay, yup. See, this is the easier option. I think I got carried away with like knowing that I needed to hand draw the left hand. I didn't even consider that this could be a better and easier approach. Okay, so I really like this option a little better. But let me tell you, one of the things that I still like about the way I'm approaching this on my right hand is that I'm still using pretty much the same colors. I mean, I'm introducing black with mascara flakes when that wasn't part of the original color scheme, but that's okay. It blends in well enough. But now what I like is that these two feel a lot more cohesive together, because yes, they are different shapes. We've got flakes over here, we've got like round glitter on the left. However, they're more like the same size together, as opposed to, you know, this is cute. She real cute, but she's just, it's a different party now, you know? So I'm gonna do a couple things here. I think probably, I mean, you all get the gist of what I'm gonna do here. So I'm probably gonna finish the rest of this off camera real quick and then pop back on once I've got the finished product to show y'all.
So like I mentioned in the previous clip, I would be filming this outro on a different day. I filmed the video on a Monday night, and y'all, I'm filming this outro on a Friday. This has been, between work and things I've been doing outside of work this week, it has been such a very busy time. So unfortunately, I forgot to film like the final look of the right hand that had the pattern on it with like the mascara flakes and the white, I was about to say sprinkles. I've been watching too many of Lynn Reese videos. The white glitter on there, but I had a blast at the game. It was so cool to have my Yankees inspired nails there. And I hope that this video has been helpful for any of you who have been wanting to do more with nail art, but maybe you are kind of like me in that it's a bit of a learning curve for you. I mean, I like to be fully candid and transparent and say that like that is definitely a part of this hobby that does not come naturally to me, but yeah, there's so many things I enjoy about it. Like what I mentioned, I know in various parts throughout this video, of just how calming and meditative it is for me. Like nail polish in general, like when I paint my nails, that is something that requires me to slow down a bit, be more mindful, be more present, even more so when I'm doing nail art. So I'm definitely gonna keep doing more of it. I'm gonna keep trying to get better at it like I have been. And yeah, I hope you all will join me on that journey. One last thing before I wrap up. So I was as of the moment that I'm filming this, I'm at 991 subscribers, which feels very unreal to me. I've got a lot of thoughts about that. I will probably start crying if I talk about that right now, so I'm not. But I was thinking about how I want to celebrate, hopefully getting to 1,000 as the next big milestone. And I know it's been a while since I've done a Q&A video, and probably some of my answers have most likely changed too. So there's to celebrate that, I'll be, like I said, I'm gonna be making an updated Q&A video, but instead of me just asking the questions to myself, I also wanted to open the invitation for any of you to, like, if there's a question that you or two or however many you want me to include in that Q&A video, leave it in the comments. I'm I'm actually really curious to hear like what you all would want to ask. And it doesn't even have to be nail polish related. I mean, like, if there's something about my life you're curious about, feel free to ask. And, you know, as I do that video, I'll divide it into topics and stuff. But, again, without me getting like too emotional right now, not that I'm someone who believes in needing to hide my emotions, but also just because I don't want to have this outro be my full reflection on how I feel about having nearly reached this milestone. But what I will say is this. You all who've been watching my videos know that at the end of my videos, I typically will say something to the effect of, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of this community and sharing your insights with me and each other. And I truly do mean that. That's not just something I say just to say. I do not take any of you for granted. And it just, really means a lot to me to see the impact that I'm able to have on people, to be part of your lives, to be part of your routine as you watch my videos. And I'm definitely gonna keep doing that and keep showing up for you all. So, you know, once I reach that 1,000, I'm gonna film that celebration video. That'll be the video that's like part Q&A, but then also me just I think looking back on this past year of having a YouTube channel. Yeah, so that's another thing. If any of you have questions about like the channel, like what it's like to, like, if you need advice for like starting your own YouTube channel, stuff like that, yeah, please feel free to ask. It just makes me really happy to know that there are so many of you out there who value my content and enjoy going to the club with me every single time. So again, I'm not gonna cry right now. I probably will in that video, so be on the lookout for that. So like I said, thank you all for being here, for just all that you all do. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Bye.